JFK, put a Z on the end. Brendan Malik and Chappelle, everybody going in. Wake up early in the morning, press play and let's get it in. Cause we rockin' with the fighter and he rollin' with the kids. Fighter and the kids, fighter and the kids, fighter and the kids.
Look into it.
Look into it because we got Miesha Tate on the show. Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
Thank you.
You came in from where?
Vegas.
Vegas. So Vegas is home now? Mm-hmm. Because you lived in Singapore for a while, correct?
I did. Like
How
about
long?
a year and a half. And it was supposed to be 2 years, but the pandemic kind of put a kibosh on that, you know?
Did they really lock down during the
Oh,
pandemic?
yeah. So super, super strict. And I was super, super pregnant. So you
Ooh,
think about
scary.
that is like my mom couldn't come over for the birth. All those things supposed to happen. The borders locked down, and then you couldn't leave your house without a mask. It's not like here, you know, where you can kind of break the rules and like there's not enough. There's too many people to enforce it. Not
Correct.
there. Not there. They have like ambassadors walking around wearing ambassador
damn.
shirts, and they'll straight up ticket you. And
That
they're
must have been
so strict
scary
there. Like
for
they
you.
cane people and shit. Not that I think they'd cane you for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? It's just like you don't
Yeah,
get away
Singapore's
with stuff there.
strict.
Yeah.
Because it's clean too, right?
Very clean. Like you're not allowed to spit on the ground. They don't sell chewing gum.
Oh,
It's
wow.
technically not allowed there, but it's kind of like if you bring it in on your own and you just don't say anything, like nobody says anything. But
Rebel.
if you get yeah, for sure. Whenever I came in, because they're coming from America, taking trips back, I felt like I was like a drug dealer because I'd always be like, "You want some gum?" And they'd be like everyone would be so excited.
Like, oh my gosh, you got that Wrigley. You got that Trident.
For real.
Misha got that Wrigley, son. Like, what?
That Bubblicious. Come on.
You got any of that big red? You got any of that big red, Misha? I know you got it.
You should have plugged out there.
Yeah, for real. I bring those like 24 packs of gum, you know, and just like.
But Singapore was a good experience.
It was a good experience. It was an experience. It was definitely something I'm glad that I did, but I will never do it again.
Interesting.
Oh.
Why?
I just, culturally, it was a bit of a culture shock. Like the people over there, they are not. I don't know. Like I kind of want to say they're not very culturally accepting of like differences. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like here in like America, I feel like we're a melting pot. We kind of just accept everybody, or
Yeah.
like that's the way I feel, anyways.
Yeah.
And most
Depending
people
what
I
city you go
associate
to.
with are that way.
Yeah,
But it's
me
like
too.
some old like Chinese man would be like not give you the time of day. Like one was like yelling at me for feeding my kid on the way to the airport in
What?
the taxi. He got so mad. He's like, "Why are you feeding your kid right now? We're not supposed to feed them in the car." I'm like, "They're like those little finger things that like babies can eat." I'm like,
Yes.
I'm feeding them because I'm a mom and I know how hard it's going to be to feed them once I get to the airport,
Yeah,
trying to
on the
get through
plane.
security on the plane,
Yeah.
all that stuff. I want to make sure, like, sorry, like, I'll make sure your car's cleaned up, but he was just
Damn.
not having it. Like, that kind of stuff, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, people are not very empathetic
Interesting.
there. I would say overall, like, not very empathetic.
So kind of stressful.
Yeah, a little bit stressful. Yeah.
Good experience though.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not every day you get to pick up and move across the world and live in another country and experience Asia. And I think the best part about living in Singapore is like it's very safe, and really the best thing about living there is to get out of Singapore.
Yeah.
It's so small. I mean, you really can see the whole thing in 2 weeks. It's
Damn.
tiny.
Really?
Very small.
Bring up where
it's like
Singapore's
40
at.
minutes from like one side to 45 minutes maybe to
So
one
would
side.
you, when you had off time, would you travel around Asia?
Oh yeah. Like
Is
I
that
went
dangerous
to.
or no?
Well, I mean, I suppose if you go to the wrong places, yeah.
But you
Sure,
knew where to
of
go?
I mean, usually I was traveling with One Championship, so it was
they-
like,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
they know
They're
their-
not
they know
picking
their
areas
shit.
that are so, But there it is.
It looks
So weird.
beautiful.
I looked at it on the
So
map the other
small.
day, and I was like, I can't believe I lived there.
That's nuts.
I was I lived at the Marina Bay residence down in that, like, almost where that makes that V right there. Okay, yeah. So you
Marina
see
Bay
Marina Bay
Sands?
Sands basically right there? Yeah, like I basically lived right. Yeah. Have you guys seen
That's a
that
good
before?
setup.
Go
That's a dope
touch on that again right there because you'll see what the Marina Bay. So that's like
Oh, that's
the
beautiful.
iconic piece of Singapore. I didn't live in that, but I had a view of that.
Oh,
So, like
okay,
right
okay.
across the like there's a
You live.
I was about to
bay.
say.
I know, right? No, that's a casino.
And then with One Championship, they set you up with housing and everything, or did you have to figure it
No,
out?
I had to. I mean, they helped me find the housing, but that was like on my own to pay for that
Interesting.
and everything. So, but they paid me well. So
And for the listeners and viewers, the reason you were in Singapore is because you were working with One Championship,
yeah, it was based
which
in
is
Singapore.
based out of Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was based out of Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your experience with One Championship, I thought it was great that they brought you on board, especially with your knowledge and your fight game, the history of all that stuff. So it was smart they brought you on board. And then I was surprised because you're coming back to the UFC now. So I guess when you decide to come out of retirement, obviously the UFC owns your rights. I don't know if people realize that. They own your-
people don't seem to realize that.
So
actually.
so I'm retired, right?
Yeah.
So if I decide to come back, and let's say I had 6 fights or 4 fights left on my contract,
Okay.
it's not because I retired. They're like, okay, go have fun. You can do whatever you want. No. They just freeze your contract.
Yep.
So when she retired, it's not like they're like, all right, Miesha, have a nice life.
Unless
Like,
you
oh,
finish
cool.
your contract.
Unless
Like,
you
if you
finish
finish
it
your
out.
contract. But if you decide to retire midway through,
It freezes.
Is
So
that
when
what
you
you
come
did?
back, but so
Yeah.
when you come back, you have to fight for the
How long
UFC.
are these
They own your
contracts?
rights.
How long are these contracts though?
Well, it's not years; it's fights.
It's fights. So how many fights do you have to sign
6
on?
or 8.
Just to pay, but especially these days, they do 6. They do long
Yeah.
contracts, so you can't just bounce.
which
around.
would be the equivalent of about 2 years typically. Like if you fought, usually 3 fights a year is what most fighters, or at least what the UFC guarantees you is 3 fights a year. If you get injured, obviously they extend your contract in time, so if you're not able to fight or whatever, but they'll guarantee you those 3 fights. It's about a 2-year contract.
2 years. Okay.
So when you decide to come out of retirement, did you have to let One Championship know? So are you still? My question is, so are you still working for One Championship then fighting for the UFC?
So in a perfect world, that'd be what I'd want to do because I'd be making bank that way on both sides. But
Which you should be able to.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, they're competing companies at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's they're doing the same thing, but in a different way, but competing for for viewership. So I guess I don't know. I mean,
what's
I
good
kind
for
of
you
share
is
that
good
with
for
you.
One Championship.
Yeah, I agree. Oh no, One Championship's down. They would definitely have me.
UFC's not.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep.
They don't play well with others.
No, they don't.
They don't play well with others.
So I'm a little lost. So
One championship.
the freezing, like you have to finish those fights
Have to.
If
Before you
I
can
wanna-
go anywhere
yeah.
else.
before you
I
can
wanna-
go anywhere else. You have.
So if you have
But-
2 fights, I don't know
so-
how many fights you have left in your contract.
6.
Oh, you're there for a while, girl.
Yeah.
You're there for
Yeah.
a while.
I think it was an 8
So that's-
fight that I signed at the championship, and then I had that fight, and then I had one more, and then so I have 6 more.
So she has 6 with the UFC, so she can't go anywhere till you fight 6 times.
But I
Unless
think-
they cut her.
Yeah, unless
But
they
unless
they're
or
not gonna
release
do that.
me.
They're
not
They're
gonna
not
do
gonna
that.
do
She's
that.
too big of a
No.
name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
She's a huge name. In
But then I
women's
went to
fighting.
work
Huge.
for One Championship as the vice president, so maybe that's where it gets a little like if you didn't understand that
You
I wasn't
weren't fighting
competing.
with
I wasn't
what-
fighting. For
No,
One
my
Championship.
bad.
Okay,
My bad.
Yeah.
I was
My
so
bad.
lost. I was
You're
like,
like, wait
This is
Wait,
inside
I don't think-
baseball.
I was like, I
This
thought
is
you
inside
gave-
baseball. My bad. I forgot the
Bro,
viewers.
I'm new to this fighting world, so you got to help
Yeah, this
me
is a
out.
deep cut. So she retired from fighting to
Yes.
go work as the vice president of One Championship, who's a
Right.
different organization, but they're only
Doing the
big
same-
In Asia.
in the
international.
same sport. Yeah.
They're huge in Asia, but out here they're
Yeah,
not.
they got Elaine, the dude from Africa, big buff guy.
Yeah.
Elaine,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Naglani- Naglani?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he with one?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Wow,
okay.
look at you.
Yeah, see, you do know.
And
What
then-
about
and then-
you know
and
about
then
you know about Rug Rug?
No,
Ever heard about him?
Monster.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Rug
yeah.
Rug.
He
Yes, I
just
do know
fought.
about Rug Rug.
He just
he
fought.
just
Bigger
fought.
dude. Kind of. We kind of look
He's a
alike. to be honest.
Senegalese world champion.
Yeah.
And he's a badass.
Yeah, he's
such a
a
badass.
badass. He just
Yeah.
had a fight.
He did.
Look at this week.
I know.
Look at
See,
you.
he knows
Yeah, he
his
did.
stuff.
But so then,
You try to act like you don't know what you're talking
know.
about. Come on.
But so then, so Mighty Mouse and
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Eddie
Mighty
Alvarez
Mouse.
went over there.
But that was what one.
That was One
Yeah,
Championship.
that was One Championship.
small
The one that just
Mouse-
fought. This last Wednesday on the
and he
7th.
got starched.
Wait, he's
Which
one of
I
the
think is
greatest-
good for One Championship.
You talk about DJ, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify because you said Eddie too. Like, I just want to let people know, like, the Eddie Alvarez situation, that was weird.
That was
what
weird.
happened there?
Yeah, illegal shots. That was weird.
I don't.
But I think for Mighty Mouse, it's good for One Championship. Bad for Mighty Mouse, obviously. But with the other thing inside baseball here, they have
Yeah.
different rules. So if I'm fighting, if Miesha, let's say, her next fight's in the UFC. So if she's fighting in the UFC, she can't knee a down opponent.
Yes.
One Championship, you can knee a down opponent. So
And Demetrious Johnson was a huge advocate for that, which I am also. I think that if you should be able to knee on the head. Okay, let me back this up real quick. Let me just break this down.
Demetrious
Why I think
is
that this should be allowed.
It's Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're allowed to kick someone in the head standing and they can fall, and you're allowed to knee them standing, and all these things, so you can flying knee them, which is a lot of momentum going. I think grapplers get enough shit for not being able to make fights exciting, right?
Or
We
get
always get
finishes,
that.
yeah.
Get those finishes. It's like, oh, it's lay and pray. Well, then give us all the tools that we get on the feet. Let us
Correct.
knee people on the
And-
hat.
and I'm gonna
Don't take that
piggyback-
away from us on the ground.
yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that because I do a show called What's Up with Brendan Schaub, and fans call in with questions or debates. And this guy made a great point. He goes, Russians and Dagestanians are taking over the UFC and mixed martial arts, and they're so grappling heavy. He goes, I think what would help these other fighters, so to make it less boring, is if they could knee on the ground. So
I'm
they
with
have
you.
some sort of tool to finish them on
I'm
the
with
ground.
you.
So why don't they let him knee on the
That's a
ground?
fatality.
Some
Because
commissioner somewhere decided it didn't look safe, like a 12-6 elbow, which is the dumbest
so
rule
they
on
did
the
the
face
rules
of
a
the
long
planet.
time ago, and they thought because of those kung fu movies or you see those weird taekwondo competitions
yeah.
where they're breaking boards like this, or like that could kill somebody. So they said that. No, I'm serious.
That's really what
I wish
happened.
I
It's
wrote this
ridiculous.
bit. I
I
wish I
swear to
wrote
God.
that bit. No, that's
It's-
real.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's real. That's how insane it is.
That's really what happened.
It's so old school. They're like, that might take somebody out.
Yeah.
So they're like,
But
those.
that's always been the rule for UFC.
Yeah.
You
Always.
can't do the knee.
And to get rules
No.
changed is a night. It takes forever. There's different commissions.
there's so much you got to go through.
And nobody wants to admit that they thought it was a dumb idea to begin with. I feel like some people are stuck on that too. Like, oh, we just don't want to, we don't want to admit that.
It's kind of like COVID.
That was
It's kind of
right.
like COVID. Like Newsom's gone so far this way where he's like, even though he knows he's wrong, his ego, he's like, no.
will not let him.
He doubled
bring it
down.
Even though CDC's like, 6 foot doesn't make any sense now. It can be 3 and you guys are fine. He's like, nope, still 6 foot because he doubled down on that.
he doubled down on it. So
So
the
that's
same
kind of
thing
like
with this.
fighting. They're like, no, we doubled
Got
down
it.
on it. Yeah.
Oh man.
But to explain in one championship, that's a different rule set. So you are allowed to knee to a
Yeah.
grounded opponent in one championship. And DJ, like myself, also an advocate for it, ends up getting finished with a knee to the head on the ground.
Did I send you the finish?
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's so bad.
Is it?
But it's a bummer because the other bummer is you can't really train that. So I think
Yeah.
DJ, obviously he's been fighting the UFC forever, was pound for pound GOATs of all time. And when you're not used to that,
so
and then
long.
when it goes
In the
live,
heat of the moment, I think he forgot.
me too. Because you're not trained to that.
He
Like,
looked
you
so
can work
surprised
it-
when that
I agree.
happened. He just,
And it's so bad. Like, and it's weird for me to, like, even I was like, oh my God.
Oh, it's real ugly.
Well, because I'm,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
I'd fuck with
come
UFC. That's my shit.
Yeah.
I'm an alumni. So when I watch it and I see the knees, my initial thoughts like, oh my God, what's he doing? It's like, oh yeah, they can do that.
they can
there.
do that one.
Yep.
It's so violent, but also it's not, to your point, it's not more violent than getting kicked to the face with a shin.
Yeah.
like that's more.
and then
dangerous.
falling
Like that knee
down,
that-
and you see the
Yeah.
head bounce
Or
off the canvas,
or like
and
a
I'm
flying
like,
knee, or like what
Yeah.
Masvidal did to Ben Askren. Like that's way worse.
I agree.
That
Yeah,
was
I agree.
that was brutal. I thought when I saw that, what do you pull
yeah,
it up,
and
Jay?
then he
The
fell on his
sequence.
face after he got knocked out too. It's like
Here it is.
It's always
This is it?
compounded. So
So he gets clipped before right
Yeah,
there,
clipped a little bit right
and
there,
then goes
and
to
then-
get up, and he's like, oh, "I'll just get back to my feet." Boom.
But I think they have a star in the making there, though, with Adriano, because
Yeah.
now
He
he's
looked
going to get
good.
that Demetrious Johnson rub a little bit, and become more of,
100%. I mean, Demetrious is a goat.
yeah,
And,
exactly. In my
and
opinion,
Demetrious
too,
and
yeah.
Eddie were on Food Truck before, and I was saying to him, like, he's tough, but you beat tougher guys. And he was like, I don't like that, man. He's like, because it puts pressure. I mean, these guys are really good, but they're not big in the American market.
Right,
He's like,
so
this guy's a
people don't know.
monster, man.
Yeah, he is. A black belt in jiu-jitsu. And did you notice that they look like they're in two different weight classes? Like
boy look
Demetrious
more-
is
yeah.
just small. He was like a foot shorter.
Look at that boy. Look at
That's
his back.
basically just goes to show you that you can be the greatest fighter of all time, but you fight somebody, potentially 10 pounds bigger than you. Mind you, they did weigh in the same, but I guarantee you DJ probably had a 5-course breakfast that morning and was drinking water, and like he just can't gain weight. I know that.
And
So
when-
in comparison to the flying knee that Masvidal did, in
Yeah.
comparison to that, the flying knee was way
Oh, yeah.
more powerful than that right there.
That was a hard
they're
ass
both
knee.
That was a
gnarly
hard
as fuck.
knee, but I
was
still
hard.
think
what made Ben so bad is his momentum's coming forward.
Oh yeah, so
he's running.
He run,
They're
he
both
ran into
running
it,
at each
yeah.
And Masvidal sprinted into that. I mean, he was
Nuts.
running his whole body forward. I mean, that was a powerful knee right there on the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah,
But, it was the knee generated as opposed to the whole body momentum behind that. And then the face plant of Ben Askren. I mean, I just make the argument that I don't think it's any more. I don't think it's worse. It's
Yeah.
not any
It'd be
worse.
tough
than.
to prove that it's worse than anything else.
That made my heart
Exactly.
sink.
I don't know how they
That's
would do
exactly
that.
right.
I ain't gonna lie, that made my heart sink.
Dude, listen, I'm balls deep in fighting that. I saw, I was like, oh my God. It's like,
was-
DJ okay? I shot my text like, you all right, man? It's tough. You're just not used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, yeah.
Let's take a little break from our chat with the great Miesha Tate. Because listen, did you know more than 50 million men in the U.S. suffer from male pattern baldness? That's right. 50 million dudes are losing their hair. But guess what? You need to check out Keeps. Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep what you have. Keep your hair, man. It's a convenient virtual doctor. You check out with them, all right? And then you get medication sent to your door every 3 months. You never have to leave your house. It's low cost. Treatments start at just $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions, all right? Comes in a discreet little package. Nobody has to know that you're doing this with your hair. Just show up with some locks, son, all right? Prevention is the key. Treatment can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so act fast because you're already missing summer. So hopefully the fall, your hair's popping, man. Get on it. If you're ready to take action, prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/fighter. That's KEEPS.com/fighter. All right, receive your first month free of treatment. That's keeps.com/fighter to get your first month free. KEEPS.com/fighter. Hey, you little thickies. Maybe you enjoy yourself a nice cold one. Be like, it's too many carbs. I don't want to get that thick. I got you covered, man. You need to start living a healthy lifestyle. And it's tough, and I get it. So guess what? You need to check out Coors Pure because it's organic and has 0 sugar. You can enjoy it without feeling guilty. You don't want that heavy feeling of the normal beer anymore. You don't want to do that, man. All right? So you got to check them out because, again, it's organic beer that is about celebrating the wins of life every day. It's organic, but they're chill about it, all right? Coors Pure, organic, but not chill about it. New Coors Pure is refreshing, simple beer with organic barley, organic hops, and water. Has only 92 calories, 0 sugar, which is the big one because there's sugar in a lot of beers, guys. It's the perfect beer to celebrate the wins of life every day. Get on it, man. Coors Pure is the perfect beer to celebrate the wins of everyday life. I keep telling you guys that. So thick is cool, but you don't want to be too thick and have a beer gut. So this is going to help you out, man. So when you want to enjoy beer without the guilt, reach for Coors Pure. It's organic, but they're chill about it, all right? Go to CoorsPure.com to see where you can find Coors Pure. Again, go to CoorsPure.com to see where you can find Coors Pure. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Albany, Georgia. It's tough. You're just not used to it.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
And then at One Championship, you guys have different weighing.
Yeah, they do the
criteria
hydration
too.
testing.
Which, break that down for these guys.
So I forget the name of the little device, but essentially they take urine and they put it in this device that measures how hydrated you are, essentially by how much waste is in your urine. So when you get really dehydrated, you know that your urine turns all dark and stuff. There's not enough water, so it's very concentrated. The more hydrated you are, the more clear it is. So it measures that basically through like a gravity process. If I'm saying that right, you guys, hope that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
There's more particles water versus particles of waste,
sure.
and that's essentially what it is. They just measure how hydrated you are through your urine.
So then if you fight at, how does the weight division work? So let's say you fight at 135.
Then you could weigh in at 145. So like one weight class up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So 10 pounds.
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know if I'm on board with that. Especially you look at Mighty Mouse there. That was tough, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
he just doesn't get, he'd have to cut a little bit to make 125 before he said that, but I was always part of the process, and then he was on par with everybody else, where now I just feel like these guys, and there's a little flux to cut a little bit of weight with that. You can cut a couple pounds and still be within hydration. You just can't cut massively to where it's, damaging. Like you see a lot of people do that and they're just like they're out of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they cut so much weight, 20 pounds. How much did you used to cut?
I never cut. The only time I cut was for a jiu-jitsu match. I got down to 222.
Yeah.
And I found out the other guy didn't have to cut, but they didn't tell me that.
but heavyweight.
Heavyweight's 206, 265, and I weighed like 240 my entire career.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I was fighting guys at 260. It's a problem. No one wants to talk about it, but at heavyweight, like it's insane to me. I would come in at 240 and I'd fight a guy like Ben Rothwell or LeVar Johnson, and they're 265. 25 pounds?
That's what that is.
And they're like, well, you're heavyweight. So I'm like, dude, 25 pounds, 25 pounds.
Yeah.
There should be a cruiserweight at 225.
But it's only in the heavyweight division that it's that big of a gap.
Correct.
Well, look at Stipe and Francis. There's a big weight difference in those. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but you could see it in there. It was a lot.
At least 15 pounds, which 15 pounds on Francis is different than 15 pounds on like tied to Avasa.
Yeah.
Like Francis at 250 or 260 of all muscle. You know how fucking crazy that is?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. So I get my question for you is, you're one of the few who decides to retire and you're crushing the game. You're VIP of the huge organization. And then what, and I'm saying this because I like you and I care about you. It's like I heard you're coming back, I'm like, why, man?
Oh, I think a lot of people had that reaction, but some people were really excited, like myself. I'm obviously excited.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not excited.
No,
my
I
question
get
for
you.
is why? There's
there's no better answer than I just want to. Like, that's it. That's really why.
Works for me.
I just want to.
No
like,
argument
I just
here.
feel like I can do it. And I made sure to go through it, kind of that checklist of things before I decided to like make that official and announcement.
What's the checklist?
So basically, I have had 2 kids and I wanted to make sure my body could still do it, that the sport hadn't passed me by, that I could get in that kind of shape, that I could avoid the injury, and that I could still like fight or flight. They talk about that being an instinct. I mean, I think once a fighter, always a fighter, but it's one thing to think that, and it's one thing to go in there and prove it,
Especially after 2 kids.
Exactly.
Different animal.
And for over 4 years of being retired, I haven't done a ton of sparring in those 4 years, but I also think that's going to lead to my longevity now, that I'm a little bit later in my career, I'm smarter, I feel like my body is finally connecting with my mindset, I'm just more mature, I look at things in a different way, and so anyways, the checklist was making sure that all those things, basically. Sport hadn't passed me by. Could I still do it? Could I hang? Could I get on that level? Could I get back into that kind of shape?
Was there a fight you were watching, or I'm sure you watch UFC, so were you watch something like, I can beat those girls? Because even me, and I tell Dick jokes.
I think I've always felt like that.
Like, I'll watch heavyweights, I'm like, I can beat that guy.
Right?
You still feel that way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch them
hell
like,
yeah.
if I got in shape, I could beat those guys.
Yeah.
Certain guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
That never goes away.
That's what
now,
I was gonna say. I don't think so.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
but in my head, I'm like, I could beat that guy.
Yeah.
Did you still have fights left?
Oh, yeah. If I came back, I think I have 4 fights left on my contract.
Got it. Okay.
So was there a fight you were watching where you're like, I could beat her?
No. I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
But with like most all of them. Like, I always just feel that way. But I don't know. That's part of being a fighter, I think, right? You got to kind of feel
Never
that
lose
way.
it.
Yeah. Like, I think you always got to feel that way, know that you can. But again, I had to prove that to myself. So I went back to the gym and I started training. So it was right around the time that I had my son. So that would be about almost 10 months ago now. That's when I had the forced slowdown, and it was just kind of like everything hit a halt. I knew I was done having kids, and I was like 34. I was like, now I think time started to become relevant. I was like, I think I want to make another run at this.
And did you tell your man and your family, or were they like, come on?
So I told my man first. I told Johnny. I said, Scooter's coming up to say hi. So you got food for me? So I told him first, and I just wanted to see what he would think, because obviously, with the kids, it's a different ball game. Like, we had a lot.
Ball game.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have so much. It's very overwhelming at times. I'm not gonna lie, but
I'm with you. I got 2 toddlers, and this weekend
It is so hard.
I'm home. I'm not on tour, and it's grandpa's not around. It's just me and my girl, and we're like, man, what are we gonna do?
I know the struggle is real.
2 days.
It is
with
rough.
just us. It's like we got to figure out shit
Yeah.
to do. Like,
No.
you're in it.
Absolutely.
So then I'm not familiar with. Are you married, or is just
No,
your man?
we're not married yet.
So yeah,
Get there someday.
So is he a fighter? Is he in a
Yeah,
fight
he's
game?
a fighter. So he's fought on the Ultimate Fighter before, and now he fights for One Championship.
Okay, so he understands it.
Yeah.
He
for sure.
understands it.
Definitely. So yeah, he gets it. He knows what's going to have to go into it, and of course, very supportive. But he's always my rock, because I'm kind of just like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I get these ideas, and I just go. Like,
Yep.
I've never been
Me
very
too.
like, I have to be, follow
Patience.
this path.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Never.
It evades me. I'm just like, fly by the seat of my pants. Now I have way more structure in my life because I have kids, but I'm still that way in my heart.
Sure.
Like, if I feel something, if I feel passionate about
You
it,
go with it.
like, I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I'm all in.
And that's why the comeback was a lot more well thought out.
Yes,
So, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because it's like I knew in my heart what I wanted to do, but I'm also like, and have my man like, well, we got to do these things to make sure, like, before you go and say something. And I didn't want to put any pressure on myself. I just want to enjoy it. I want to come back and see like what I could do, what kind of shape I could get in. And like, to be honest, like, if I went in there, if I got injured, if I couldn't hang, if I couldn't physically hack it, then, I would have known, and I would have never said anything to anybody.
But I'm sure you're doing pretty well in training.
Right.
You're a little beast.
Yeah. So
So then when you told One Championship, were they like, oh, come on, because they know you're probably not gonna be able to.
I don't know if that's
the
the
same
way.
duties.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the way that they felt, but that's not what they said. Like, when I talked to Chaudhry, who is the CEO and founder of One Championship, he was 100% supportive. Like,
Love it.
It's not very often you find a friend in the business world that has, that your dreams are going to kind of counter in a way what would be beneficial to them, but they're
know.
still going to support you in that mission,
But again, my point with One Championship, I mean, like you said, they're supportive of it. Is like, what's good for you is good for them. Like, the bigger Miesha Tate gets, being associated with One Championship,
But-
being the VPs,
Yeah.
great for them.
Exactly, but I had to put in my 30 days. So
Because the UFC.
right.
Yeah.
So I've got like maybe 2 weeks left, and then
And then you can always go back. I'm sure like the door's
yeah,
open.
I think so. I mean, we left on amicable terms. They've been really good to me. I had a good experience there.
Yeah.
Like I have no, I mean, I don't know which direction. I'm not promising anything. I don't know if I'll continue to work with the UFC after I'm done fighting, or if I'll go back to One Championship. But I think doors are open either way, which is nice to have options.
And then, is there any opponents in mind, or because did I read that your first fight's gonna be at 45?
So
Is that the plan?
No, so originally I thought about it because like I'm still breastfeeding my son and everything like that, and I was like, I don't want to have to diet and cut weight and like worry about milk supply and all that stuff. But I wanted options when I started to look at the 145-pound division. It's like they just let Megan Anderson go. Now there's 2 women, and Amanda's coming back down to 135.
That
and,
division's. I mean, there's nothing there.
you know what I mean? So it's like Felicia Spencer and Danielle Wolfe are fighting, but Danielle Wolfe is like, I don't know, she's like 1 or 2 fights in MMA, not very much.
No.
I think she's like 1-1 or 1-0 or something. And then there's Felicia, which I think would be a great fight. I would love
Agreed.
to maybe fight her someday, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not going to have a division with fights to keep me busy,
There's
I don't
no
wanna-
longevity there. So you beat Felicia.
what
What are
I
you gonna
mean.
do? And
That's
then
what I
I
mean.
guess maybe Amanda Nunes, if she wants to do it.
Yeah, but to be honest, I've been out for 4.5 years. Like, I don't think Amanda for my second fight would be a very smart decision. You know what I mean? She's a total badass, and it's great. I want to fight her again, but I want to make sure I do things the right way and give myself the best opportunity to win. And I don't think jumping in off one fight is the best thing to do.
But you're such a big name too, so it puts UFC in a tough spot because it's not like they can just toss you some newbie, Like Holly
Yeah.
Holm was like, I'm
So-
down for that. Like all these big
I know.
dogs because you're a big dog in the
Yeah.
space. You're, the Mount
So-
Rushmore of female fighting. So,
so-
all of them want their shot at Miesha Tate now.
I know, it's funny actually. I've been hearing a lot of, but I mean that's great. I'll be the second most hunted woman in the division.
sure.
There'll be
yeah.
Amanda and it'll be me.
Yep.
UFC
And-
doesn't do tune-up fights though, like boxing. You come out
Not
for
really.
your life. For your
No.
There's
life.
no tune-up. They don't play that
It's
game.
very
it's
sink or
sink or
swim.
swim.
Very much so.
Especially for Miesha.
Yeah.
Because she
What
had
do
a big, long career, and literally, she's one of the most famous female
Yeah.
fighters of all time. So they're not gonna.
They're not gonna
They were
sugarcoat.
like, all right.
They're gonna give it right. Like you
No,
want to
I
come
mean,
back?
look at. I'm not making a comparison to Miesha, but you look at like even with CM Punk, like have fun, dude, and he just got never fought before, just got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
It's like, can we get him a newer guy? Like, nah, he'll figure it out. He
And
didn't figure
they're
it
like,
out.
and if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's literally sink or
But
swim.
they want
Yeah, that's-
everybody tried and true. I mean, they don't want to
Yeah.
build up records and have people be.
I didn't know that. So
look-
34 years old, 2 kids in 4-year layoff, and you go in there with the Sharks,
Yeah, basically.
and you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's I gotta
It should
be.
be
That's
fine.
yeah.
Shit, I'm all right.
But so the first woman that I'm scheduled to fight is Marion Reneau. Are you familiar with her?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not an easy.
That's
task.
a
No, it's not an easy
No,
fight.
bring her up, Chin. No, it's not easy.
It's not. She. So this is
Not at all.
what this is what is what is it?
Brazilian, right?
She's
She's a
43.
Belizean, I think.
She's 43.
But
Yeah, she's
she's coming off losses, correct?
She is. So that's the worst part about this is she's a lot better than what her record says, in my opinion. So she has 4 losses, but they're all
Wait, 9
close
wins, 7
decisions. She's never been finished. She's lost split decision. She's been on the verge of being a contender a number of times. She's finished Jessica Andrade, which is like impossible to do. She triangle choked her. Then she hurt Sarah McMahon on the feet and triangle choked Sarah McMahon. That's not easy to triangle choke. You know what I mean? It's like, so she's got these wins.
It's a weird fight, huh? Because it's, I guess people are like, oh, she's coming off 4 losses. Good fight
That's
for
what
Miesha,
I
but
mean. It's like kind
it's
of
not
like
an easy
it's
day in
not.
the office.
It's a lot of like it's kind of like worries me because I'm like people really look at that and they're just gonna see a record and be like, oh, 4 losses. I'm like, I don't look at that at all that way.
No,
those
it
losses
shouldn't.
were all decision losses and they were pretty close. Like she held her own. Like
It's
she
not like
never
she
was
got
in major
starched.
trouble.
Yeah.
She's never been in major trouble in a
Yeah.
fight. She's never been finished. She's never been like knocked down. Like she's tough. She's durable. She can do everything. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She can strike. She can clinch, wrestle.
And when's that fight supposed to go down?
Yeah, July 17th.
Oh, it's around
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
corner.
July
you got
17th.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
enough.
I got time because I've been doing this. I've been training for months now. So
And then did your manager call the UFC to say you come back, or did you handle that?
no, I did. I actually was like bugging Dana on Instagram, and I have no idea why, but he blew off like my first 5 DMs about wanting to come
You
back.
just didn't see him?
No, he saw them. That's why I
He
messaged
didn't
him.
respond.
He didn't respond. That's why I messaged him on Instagram, because I'm like, oh, I'll be able to see if he read it. You know, like I wanted to know. Like I wasn't gonna send like just a text message. Like I want to know he saw that shit.
Yeah. Were you nervous when you DM'd him?
Kinda, but then I saw, and then I started to be like, maybe someone else is running his account. You know, you never know.
No,
like maybe someone else saw it.
He's in it on social media.
But I was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a person that's checking it, or, you know, helps him out with some things, and they opened it and he didn't actually see it. I was trying to make up excuses, but deep down I really knew he just was like ignoring me.
He probably was like, oh, she's not serious.
That's
Maybe.
what I
like,
that's what I think it was.
Serious. She's fine in one championship.
Yeah.
And then what got over the hump where he started engaging with you?
So
was it through DM or text?
No, it was all through Instagram. So I wrote this long message, and I was like, look, I'm not going to come back to the U.S. and move my family back and, you know, leave One Championship is what I realized looked like I probably would have to do, right? That's what I was assuming would happen. I'm not going to do that, jump from one tree until I have another to make sure. So where are we at with this? I want to fight. And then he just said, come home. That's all he said. And just 2 words.
Oh, damn.
That's pretty gangster.
But I know, right? But I kind of took that as like, put your money where your mouth is. Like if you're really serious about wanting to fight, prove yourself. Absolutely.
His defense, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he gets blown up all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, move home. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So I did.
You did. You're like, yeah, I'm here, dude.
Exactly.
He's like, all right, we'll get you a fight.
Then I came into the office and he's like, so what are you doing here? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you want? I was like, I want to fucking fight.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I came home.
I know, right? Here I am. And he just still was kind of like, okay. Like, he was still kind of like, well, you know, why? He's like, are you not making good money? I think that was the other thing. Maybe he was concerned about me being desperate, right? That a washed up Miesha Tate was going to come back and desperate to feed her family kind of thing and just get my ass kicked and take a paycheck and leave, you know? But I was like, no, I really want to fight. And he was like, okay, well, wait, what? I was like, probably 45, so I don't have to worry about cutting weight. I just walk in fat and happy. And he was like, oh, okay. Then what did he say? He said, he said 45 is a rematch with Amanda. And I said, so's 35. Like, either way, I'm going to get to her.
Either way, I'm going to get to her.
You know what I mean? So I just, I was like, that's fine with me. That's what I want anyways at the end of the day. Like, I want to fight her again, and I want to do it. I want to be the baddest woman on the planet again.
And then the since you left, you know, especially 4 years ago, that 35 is stacked. Like, it's a bit of a different game now.
Well, it is, but a lot of the women that when I left are still in the top. So that's why another reason why I definitely don't feel like, you know, the sports like quote unquote passed me by. I mean, Holly, you've seen her get numerous title shots again. She's still talking about wanting to make another run at it. I mean, Juliana Pena, we grew up in this sport together. She's going to fight, you know, for the title next. Like a lot of the women, Marion Reneau, right? This is her retirement fight, granted, but I mean, she's been in the UFC close to as long as I have. I would say Kat Zingano, obviously she went over to Bellator, but she's still in it. She's still winning fights, right? These are women that Cyborg, Amanda too, you know, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, she's come back like crazy.
Yeah, but they're all women that were in my that are in my era.
Was, you know, she's been around forever. Holly Holm doing the
Sarah McMahon,
Pena, Sarah McMahon, they're all kind of doing it.
So you know, it's a good mixture, but a lot of them are still from what I would consider my generation of fighting, and they're still doing great things and still holding top 5 spots and top 10 spots, mostly all of them actually. So I definitely think like I still have time. And
was there any idea, or was there any attempt to get released from the UFC contract so you can fight in One Championship just to make it easy?
Well, I knew the
easiest route, right?
Yeah, that would have been the easiest route, but I knew that they weren't going to do that just based on we tried to do a grappling match with One Championship and they ex-nayed that real quick. Dana didn't like that.
You're too big of a name.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, that's what it is. And to be fair, like the UFC had so much to do with elevating my brand.
Correct.
You know, I think people cared a little bit coming from Strikeforce. You know, Ronda and I had that great fight. It's what, and you know, Gina and Cyborg, since that time kind of moved forward, and I was a big part of that movement. I think people started to care about it, but it was still a lot of hardcore fans, you know, hardcore fans really cared. It wasn't so much like it is now mainstream.
Yeah, when I think of women's fighting, you talk about the pioneers. It's like Gina, Cyborg, Ronda, and you. And then Amanda, you know, came on late, and obviously she's the dominant face of the women's fighting, all women's fighting. So there's like you 5 are on Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, Amanda, I don't think she was too much behind us though. You know, I think she's 32, but she just didn't get noticed until she changed camps and then
changed camps and then maturity, right? Like you look at that fight with Kat Zingano,
right?
She's beating the shit out of Kat and just kind of
gassed and
got tired and then got beat. And
Yeah.
then I think she learned from that. And now she's just this absolute dominant champ, man.
Yeah.
Dominant.
Yeah, she
but I think
figured
what's
it
good
out.
for you and your advantage is you knew her before that. These girls find her now, like Megan Anderson, stuff like that. They see her as the GOAT, the
Right.
lion. You don't see that.
No, I've
You're
se-
like, no, that's...
I've seen her lose. I've seen her lose
struggles.
exactly, and I've seen her lose in Invicta. I was Sarah DeLalio. I'm pretty sure it was Sarah DeLalio beat her, but yeah, I've seen her lose before. I mean, I know she has her weaknesses and stuff.
Which I think is such a big advantage because a lot of those girls, like I love Megan Anderson. But I think she was beat before it even started.
I agree, completely agree. She looked like her eyes got like this big as soon as the bell
Like,
went
oh,
and
no.
Amanda started marching across the way, and she was just
Yeah.
kind of like, ah. And I was like, well, I will not be like, when
No,
I
that's
fight her.
not
I
you,
promise
yeah.
you
She's
that.
just
I was
Amanda
like,
Nunes to you.
I can't promise victory, you guys, but I can always promise that I'll bring a hell of a fight, and I'm not
sure.
scared of any woman on this planet.
And is there besides her? Is there any other fights, redemption fights, or anything like that you're looking for?
I wish I could run it back again with Kat, but she's over in Bellator right now, so that's kind of just
That'd be a great fight.
Yeah, would really like to run it back with that. And then I think I'll end up fighting Holly again. It's not really something I'm like gunning down because I beat Holly, so it's not like like gotta have it. But I'm sure she'll
She's
be one of
ranked
the
high.
6 fights though.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will be at some point.
yeah.
I'd love to fight Jermaine. That's one that I never got the opportunity to fight her. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're gonna win this one. Then you're looking at those top women.
Exactly.
You're looking at top 3.
and I think Jermaine is she's won.
She's won.
So-
Holly Holm's 2.
I'm
and Aspen
interested in
Ladd's 3.
Yana too, because I think Yana and Jermaine, those would be fun fights for me. Those women are both, ranked really high, and Yana, she's improving every fight that I see her. She's getting
a badass.
better.
Yeah, she's getting a lot better.
She's got good striking. She's fought Cyborg, so I know she's not scared. She's not scared to fight people, and she comes to fight. She gets better with the wrestling. Been seeing her take people down and land her ground and pound and stuff. So I think that'd be a good one too.
And then I was reading too before you came in here. You were struggling with some mental health issues. Is that right?
Yeah, I was like, I was just
Is
struggling.
that just
with,
because you're in Singapore? You think, or
Man. This was a long time. This was really throughout my entire career, but it kind of came to a headway. I would say it really started to get bad before the Holly fight, to be honest. And then
like during camp, you're like, what were we talking? Like straight depression, or you just didn't want to
Yeah.
do it anymore? Or what's going on there?
yeah, so I had struggled a lot in my personal life. So with my ex, it was just a very toxic relationship, to be honest.
That's tough to do that.
It's
have
hard.
That going on
It's
at
hard.
home and then fighting the UFC.
Yeah, and especially when that person is your head coach.
Oh shit.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's why you don't
Like-
get your head
I
coach.
was like, come on, bitch.
100%.
You didn't tell me it's that now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Shit.
Woo! I got
So-
that's
Yeah,
toxic
forget
for
you guys
me.
don't know all this stuff.
I know.
I assume.
Yeah, switch
It's like
camp.
food truck diaries. I'm sorry. You guys don't know this.
I know you and I are just like taking
know.
off
I'm
on
like,
this conversation.
I know.
These two are like, "What is going on
I
right
know,
now?"
wait,
Trying
what?
to follow this.
Now, Alex, also, when's your next boxing fight?
So you gonna box ever? You wanna,
So you in the fighters, huh? That's
He's like, so you play for the LA Sparks? You're point guard for the LA Sparks?
and you get ranked, right?
You guys should be paid more, man.
I'm trying to tell you, I got a business.
I'm new to the fighting world. I'm new to it.
Yeah, you surprised me though.
Yeah,
You
so
did.
so it was toxic. You're dealing with, your head coach and he's your boyfriend, which is a nightmare.
that was a nightmare because there was no break. Obviously the personal part of the relationship goes into the gym a little bit. I'd say we did a better job of separating it there, but coming, back home the other way, it was like almost never separated, so it was just like constant pressure. And to be honest, like you just I don't know, it was like almost 9 years that we were together, and I tried to exit that relationship probably, the last 4 or 5 of it, at least 50%
But
of
with
it.
your head coach, it's like,
No, and
it's what a nightmare.
and yeah, I mean, and
So that took a toll on you.
yeah, he would threaten me in ways too that it was just like you just don't feel like I could leave. There's no excuse on my part. I mean, I can't make excuses. I can't blame him. I have to take accountability and blame for myself because ultimately at the end of the day, it's my decision. But when somebody is threatening to like take their own life or release nude photos, things
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
you're just
That's
like,
scary.
A lot of
oh,
fucking
okay,
pressure.
But
and
I
then
think what's good for people to listen to is like so many people when they're in toxic relationships, everyone goes, why don't you just leave them? And you're a badass. So I'm sure a lot of girls are like, hold
Right.
on, Miesha
yeah,
couldn't get out?
I struggled for a long time. Like, we'd get into arguments and I'd want to like walk away and get my space, keep my cool, because I'm not somebody who likes to lose my cool. If I'm getting to the point where I feel like I'm going to say some shit I don't mean,
Walk away.
I want to walk away. I want to take a
Correct.
deep breath. I
Same.
want to calm down. You know, I don't like to stay in the heat of that moment. And he's like wanted to hash it out right then and there, you know? So like, it would be like sometimes like blocking me in a room, like not letting me exit the room, like things like that. And those things just wear on you mentally because,
I also feel like you'd beat him up, but that's a different conversation.
right? You kind of think
He's a
that.
small guy.
But be
But like-
honest,
but
come
like,
on, but be honest. He fought in the UFC too, you know what I mean?
He was
And it's
tough.
Like, he was
No, dude,
tough. Like
he's a
he's a
good fighter.
very,
He's
you
a
know,
good
good
fighter.
wrestler, good
fighter.
grappler, good, you know, so I mean.
Still feel like if Vegas odds, you're like minus 100.
It'd have been enough situation.
I'm just saying, if I was the ref, if I was Herb Dean in the house, I'd be like, all right, I got Miesha.
yeah.
But it's hard to think logically through
It
all
is,
that,
it is.
especially.
And then
Yeah.
you're fighting
When the person's
grown
so
men.
aggressive.
You're
Yeah.
fighting grown women in a steel cage.
Yeah.
You got to deal with that.
What was your
Right.
breaking point? Like, if you don't mind me asking. Like,
Yeah,
enough is enough.
the breaking point really was probably with the Amanda fight when I just felt like as I became more successful, he just kind of like relaxed and I hate to use the term riding coattails or whatever, but that's, I mean, look back on it, I don't know how to draw a better analogy. He just kind of started to fight less,
cruise control.
did less, and started to be such a major detractor for what I was trying to do. It was like, we made it. You know, you go out there and fight. I'm just going to chill here. I'm going to go drink, and I'm going to party at night while you're trying to sleep for your training camp, and I'm going to stay up and be loud as fuck downstairs and
have
not be around, you know, not be there in the ways that were supporting me. So it would be like, I remember just being so frustrated, like, I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Shut up. You know, he's like downstairs drinking beer and partying with his friends. And I'm like, oh, I was so frustrated that whole camp. And just the emotional breakdown that you get to a point where there's so much pressure on you to do one thing, but then there's like just awful pressure in the relationship too that's just not working for you.
So that was
And, like-
affecting your mental health.
Yeah,
'Cause
he showed up to my wake up with Amanda late and intoxicated.
Yeah, you got to fire him. You got to fire him. I suck at firing people too, but I mean, people
But-
get put in cruise control. Like,
Yeah.
everyone gets comfortable.
And
And
it's
you're
just
like, whoa,
like,
who's
man.
comfortable
And then
with
he
him?
brought like a bunch of people with him. Like, I don't know if you've ever
He felt
been.
like he was the star.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he brought all these people with
Man,
him.
it
It's
So
just
it's like,
toxic. But then, did you suffer from depression before any of this? Or did that kind of...
in spouts for sure, but I think I'm a pretty mentally strong person, so I always would find a way to kind of like go get through it, you know. And I understand that depressions for some people can be like it's just never gone. For
Yes.
me, it was in parts, so it wasn't bad all the time, right? There's great
Yeah.
moments. You win a fight, that's a great moment. You persevere, great moment. You had a great practice, you feel good. Birthday, you know, whatever, you feel good for that moment. But eventually, it just started to consume me. It was like poison, you know? It was just like I just kept drinking poison until I felt like I couldn't do it anymore.
And then was there a point where you're warming up for the fight in the back there in the locker room, warming up before a
Yeah.
big fight, being like, what am I doing, man?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the Amanda fight. I felt very flat in that fight. And then,
And your coaches can notice.
yeah, for sure.
Because I've had fights where my coach is like, what's up with you? I'm like, I just don't feel like doing this, man. How about that?
Yep.
Like, what? You're fighting O'Gara. I'm
Exactly.
like, yeah, I know. I don't feel like doing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm a human, man. I don't feel like doing this right now.
I'm
They're like,
so
well,
with
you don't
you.
have a choice. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't have a
I'm the
choice. You
elephant
got to
in the
go out there and do it.
circus.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm with you. So
when you
you've
feel
been
like
there.
that, it's a nightmare.
You've been
Yeah.
Because
there.
that guy's ready to go, and it's the biggest fight of your life. But for whatever, if you could have just pushed this till tomorrow, I'd be better. Like tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna feel
Yeah.
better. For
But there's
right
something
now,
that
I
just-
just don't feel like doing this. I remember hitting miss, I'm like, God, I
Yeah.
don't feel like doing this right
Yeah,
now.
you ever see the lion eat their trainer one breaking
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that. It's just like you're just
Correct.
like I don't feel like fucking doing this right
Yeah.
now. Like
So
I
was
just
that-
not right now. Having a bad day.
Tough on women.
a bad moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you were
It's tough
feeling
for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, men or women. It's just not men and women deal with it.
So it was just that specific moment right there. You're like, I don't want to fucking do this.
For me, it happened
Was there
in the
a lead
O'Gara
up?
fight and then the Roy Nelson fight.
Got it.
And my team could tell. They'd be like, dude, come on. Or even the Travis Brown one when I'm warming up. I was like, this is it. They're like, no, don't talk like that. I'm like, no, dude, I'm fucking telling you. This is it, man. I don't want
You
to do
just
this
felt
anymore.
it, yeah.
I was like, I have other shit to do. Like, well, let's not think about that right now. I'm like, I know. I just want you to know before we go. This is right before we're arguing. Like, I want you to know we will never do this again. Like, no, you're just saying that. Like, all right, dude. And we get the back. I'm like, I'm done. How many times? How clear can I make it, man?
People just think you're emotional in that situation. Like when I retired too, it's like, oh, she's just emotional. But I was really serious about that. I
when
knew.
It clicks
knew.
for a fighter.
And I don't even remember my warm up, to be honest with Raquel. I was in such a funk. I was in such just an overwhelming depression at that time. It's like that time in my life is a blur, to be honest with you. I don't remember it. I don't remember very much about any of that. The week of, like, none of it. I was not even there. I don't know how to explain it. And the same thing when I went in the fights. Like, I wasn't there, and this is why I didn't know I was going to retire. People ask me that. Did you know you were going to retire that night? No, because it had been that way for me so many times in my fights before, where there was a lot of shit that was going wrong. Arguments, lack of support, isolation from my family and things. I just didn't have the will to battle that anymore, and eventually I reached a point where I was like, I can't do it anymore. But I didn't realize that until the fight happened, because every time before that I was always able to turn it on anyways.
Overcome no matter what. Once that gate shut, you
exactly.
Could deal with it.
It's just like you just do it anyways, just in spite of. This is part of the process. This is how you get ready, and then you get to a point where you have nothing left, and there's not even like nothing to light a match with.
Did you know what I mean? In the fight? That's the worst feeling.
100%. Like, in the fight, like immediately, I was like,
it's the worst. You're like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst, because even with travel, like I was telling my team, like, I'm done. Like, no, you're not. Once that gate shuts, you're gonna turn on. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I get it. I see his big ass. I'm moving. I'm like, the fuck am I doing? Like, I do not want to do this.
Yeah, you're like looking at what the ladies wearing in the audience, and you're like.
Like, the guy's so fucking big.
Wait, so you
I remember we were. I know you're gonna ask me a question. I remember we were in a clinch up against the cage or whatever, and I was like, maybe I could just hang on here for the rest of the round. I don't want to do anything. And she starts hitting me in the face. I'm like, oh, come on, I'm not even doing anything to you. I'm just trying to hang on.
Trying to give you the run.
And it was just I laugh about it now, but at the time I was like, that is the worst feeling in the world
so
to just have no. Yes,
it's so embarrassing.
It was,
I remember being in the clinch with Arlovsky and just be like, God, can we just waste time and stay here?
Stay here.
Like, can we? And fans are booing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Please,
right
Arlovsky,
now.
let's just stay here, dude.
Your coach,
why you gotta do this? Like, let's just stay here for the 5 minutes.
Why you gotta be so violent?
This world is fucking intense.
It's intense.
It's fucking insane. No, I was gonna ask. So were you with him until you retired? That whole time?
So it broke up right after the fight with Amanda, which was my second to last fight.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tried to do kind of just the coaching thing, but he just didn't want that, and so there was a ton of extra pressure in that department too.
So the weight fully wasn't off your shoulders.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So and think how great this comeback's gonna be, because you're not dealing with all that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm so excited.
And now you got that mama bear instinct.
Yeah.
Which is a completely different.
It is
extra
different.
strength right there.
I'm fighting for my family.
Man.
It's different. It's not just me.
Yep.
And I'm doing it because I really, really want to. I have to obviously put my needs and desires first in a way. But you're absolutely right. When you have more to just kind of motivate you or to fight for, it's different. It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you enjoy being a mom?
Love being a mom.
Yeah.
Being a mom's crazy. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, to be honest. Like the
I
everyday grind.
think it's good for fighters and entertainers, because as a fighter and entertainer, you're always like never stopping smelling the roses. You're always the next thing.
Yeah.
But with kids, you have to be in the moment and present at all times.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're gonna fall in the pool.
Yeah.
Or fucking take a knife to the throat. Like, you got to be present all the time.
Like, I don't have time to sit and think about my next practice a lot of times, or my overthink my fight or my opponent. Is like, I have those dedicated times for that, and the rest of the time it's like, it's the kids. Like, they come first, really.
But I love it, because the one thing where I have to,
it's so refreshing.
It's the best.
I don't know how I could ever have a bad day when my daughter, she runs into our room and she just, Mommy, Daddy, I slept well. I had a dream that I was on the moon, and I didn't have any blankets. And she said, what about my morning kiss? And she just, she gives me those hugs and kisses, and it's like, my God, I'm blessed.
That's why I want a bunch.
I'm so blessed.
I have two, but I want a bunch. All the love, dude. All the love.
Yeah.
I just want to walk.
You want a lot of kids?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I was born to be a dad. I absolutely love it. Like yesterday, for an hour, but by our fireplace, they're playing hide and go seek. I just stayed there and watched them for an hour. I'm like, I can't believe they're so into this shit. For an hour, chasing
my daughter
each other.
loves it. My son will be old enough soon, I think. He's starting to like walk around with those walker things.
How old is he?
He's 10 months.
So he's
getting there. I think a little, around that first birthday, and a little after that, they'll actually be able to start really playing with each other. Because like right now, they're just, she's almost 3 and he's almost 1.
Yeah, they're getting there.
Right there.
Yeah.
And would you want your kids to be fighters?
Would I want them to be?
Yeah. You
No.
want them to go into the field? Because obviously their papa's a fighter. Their mama's one of the greats.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pick it because I know it's a hard sport. It's a hard
One of the
life. It's
toughest
unforgiving.
roads. Yeah.
It's definitely tough. But if they want to be, I'll support them and I'll just do my best to make sure that they're the best
Yeah.
and the safest they can be. You know, that's all I want for my children is to have big dreams. I want them to not set limitations on themselves, and I want them to go for whatever it is that sets their heart on fire. That's
I think
all.
as a parent, I just want them to be passionate about something. I don't give a fuck if it's video games,
Yeah.
art, music,
I don't-
whatever it is.
I feel
just
like
find your passion and run with
it's
that.
not human nature to not be passionate. I don't believe anyways. I think it's human nature to be passionate. I did think that it's also human nature to second guess yourself though and not go for it. To be too timid to go for what you're passionate.
But I'd say most people are too timid and
Yeah.
or too scared to fail.
Yeah.
I don't want dude,
But
fail.
you're always going to have something that you just love or gravitate towards, you know. To me that's that's
Sometimes.
passion, but people just don't feed into that sometimes. They're scared like, "No, what if
and that's where you
and
get
they don't
the
go."
haters and the YouTube commenters.
Right.
They're never too scared to chase their dreams, so they go for people like you and me. you know?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what you get. Let's do some current events, Jen.
Oh, before we go there, let me ask you a question. Clarissa Shields, right?
Clarissa Shields?
Yeah, we call her T-Rex. All right, T-Rex is she want to dip her toes in the UFC because she says there's no competition in boxing. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
No, she wants
Can I answer this for you?
Yep.
Miesha would beat the shit out of your girl, Clarissa Shields. She would take her down and choke her out.
She got a nice one too.
I don't care, dude. You've never seen Miesha fight.
I seen
She
Miesha
would take her down and choke her out.
Choke it out.
Yeah.
How big? Well, it's uneven because I'm looking at you. Great body, great form. She's
Easy.
Like, she's buff though.
Yeah, but you got to know how to use that weight. That's what matters. Like, it's a different ball game and different like range for boxing. But they're not used to having to deal with somebody grabbing them and putting them in places they don't want. The referee always steps in and
The distance
breaks them.
is different too. Like you'll
Yeah.
see, for example, Connor when he fought Dustin Poirier this last one, we lost with the leg kicks.
Yeah.
He's been so heavy into boxing. He was so heavy on his feet. Forgot. Oh, dude, we just don't box here, and so the distance is different. And even Connor, who's a master of mixed martial arts, he's been so focused on boxing, he forgot about the legs, lost the leg kicks. So with Clarissa, she's never fought before. I'm sure she's going to get to the UFC. Hopefully they do it right. And if they start tossing her, they're not going to give her a girl like Miesha Tate right away.
Nah, they give her
No.
like someone like what?
Yeah, but eventually she's
starting
going to
off-
run into a Miesha Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's starting off in the PFL, right? Is
Yeah.
that what- Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
so-
great. And some poor girl who thinks she's a striker is going to get her fucking face knocked off. Because I wouldn't want to be on the end of her punches. She beat everybody up in it, except for Miesha.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a monster.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a hard hitter,
She's
and I
so
think she
talented.
will
She's
make a
knocking
great
women out.
transition to
Yeah.
MMA because
Yeah.
she's
For sure.
ultra aggressive and she's a good athlete. She's
Still
good
young.
instincts, So when you start teaching her the right things, I think she'll pick it up fast.
She's a monster.
big, strong woman.
Okay.
But I think, I would say 9.9 times out of 10, like an MMA fighter will destroy a straight boxer. Like almost all MMA fighters, to be
All the
honest.
time.
There's just so many different ways.
Yeah, so many different. But boxing is such a small part of what we do, and even everything that works for boxing doesn't work for MMA. So it's not even like the best boxer in the world could just come over and not worry about getting kicked in the head. Like they can't slip a punch like that, like they do in boxing, or roll and they get kneed in the face. Like it just doesn't
Or
work.
even if you think about the gloves, like boxers cover up like this. You cover up like this in MMA with those small gloves. Even if I'm hitting you, it's gonna
It
fucking
still hurt.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
padded. It's not
No.
padded.
And those punches will slip through somewhere. Like even
100%.
if you're blocked here, they're coming in the middle. If you're blocked here, they're gonna hit you on
Somewhere.
the side. This
Just
is
a
too
bit of
small.
a different animal.
Yeah, the range is totally different.
I just got so much insight.
But I'm a big fan of hers, though.
Oh, yeah, no,
I love,
really am.
I love
I like
Clarissa,
her
and
a
I
lot.
do think she's going to come over and make some huge waves. And
Yeah.
if she can, I know she's working with Jackson. So with her athletic ability and the way she
Exactly.
picks things up,
Yeah.
if she does get that sprawl and brawl down, it's going to be problems.
So
She's
she-
going to be knocking girls out.
So you
man.
do see her as a striker and a grappler, or do you see her?
She's not a grappler. It's just not in her wheelhouse. No. She's always going to be predominantly striker.
Yeah.
She just needs to learn how to sprawl and brawl.
Yeah,
She's going to be Chuck Liddell.
you gotta learn how
sprawl
to
and brawl.
prevent the takedown.
Prevent the takedown.
You got
And
it.
if she does, dude, it's problems.
Okay.
Yep.
This is my first time hearing like the ins and outs because I've never heard you really talk about your fighting. Like
I really stay away from it unless
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing food truck or
No, that's so it was pretty cool. Like hearing like the back and forth, like the insight. I'm
dynamic,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, this world is intense. And
It
it's just
is.
a world I've never.
And I don't think you guys
really-
realize how much beast she is.
Yeah, yeah,
She's talking about a goat here.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I saw her
So-
fight with Holly Holmes. I was like, "Get up, Holly!"
You're rooting for Holly? You son of a bitch.
No, I didn't know Miesha at that time. She just knocked out Ronda Rousey.
Never again.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Never again.
The hell with Holly. I'm on Miesha.
All right, what do you got, Jim? This episode with Miesha Tate on Fighter and the Kids is brought to you by On It frickin' supplements, man. The summer's coming. And don't panic, because there's still time to get your diet right and get your nutrients right and get your freaking supplements right. But you can only do it with the best. So do it with Onnit. Onnit.com/fighter. 10% off. Whatever you need, man. We got protein powder. We got joint oil. We got freaking Shroom Tech, creatine. All right? We got a keto collection. We got coffee for your ass. Maybe you're on a strict diet. You need everything you can get, man. Whey protein, protein-based protein bars, protein bites. Like I told you, coffee. How about you want a snack? Your fat ass want a snack? You want some protein power puffs, some fat butter, elk bars, warrior bars? Eat on up, thickies. Go to onnit.com/fighter for 10% off. Where'd Scooter go?
He's right there.
Oh, he's chilling?
He's right here, just
Chilling.
chilling,
Dope.
just hanging out.
Chilling.
Shout out to Scooter.
This is a very sad one.
Oh, did he finally pass
DMX
away?
has passed away this morning. There was a little bit of controversy yesterday, the night before, because there were several celebrities who came out who were friends of his, saying R.I.P. We're so sorry you're gone. But his family hadn't announced anything yet, and so they actually pulled it down. I think it was it was Kaylani, it was Lunel. Yeah. They posted RIP, like DMX is gone. They pulled that post down very quickly, just out of respect for the family. I think
because they wanted to wait for the family.
Yeah, because the family hadn't confirmed anything, and there was, I believe it was his manager of the past 3 years came out and said, "Hey, he's actually still alive. He is currently on life support, but his organs are deteriorating and kind of starting to give up on him." So right now we're kind of trying to decide what to do.
It was from an overdose.
It was from an overdose. They still
That's such a
haven't
shitty
confirmed which drug it is, but they're saying it's an overdose. So this morning they announced that he passed away.
What was your first DMX song you heard?
God. What was the video with him and all the pit bulls?
It's gonna give you. Oh, that's the Rough Riders anthem.
Rough Riders anthem for
when
sure.
he had the pit bulls and the four wheels.
Yeah, the four wheels.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Probably
what was your
that.
first?
Get at me, dog.
Get at me, dog. That's a great.
Oh,
song.
I had. What was the album where he's covered in blood?
Oh, hell is hot.
Or I thought it was blood, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. He was
Come on,
always
dog.
covered in blood. I apologize because he messed me up with the post. I'm sorry, Miesha. Do you know who DMX?
Yeah, a little, but I'm not a huge music buff or whatever, but just in general, so don't quiz me too hard here. But,
Yeah, he's mad.
but
I was going around. What are you?
I know, right? I'm like,
Miesha,
I
favorite
failed.
member of Rough Riders besides DMX. Go. Can you name one? Yeah, right. Name another member of Rough Riders.
I like how she shut it down real quick.
Yeah, I had to preface that. I'm like, don't
please
dig
don't.
any deeper, please.
She started going. She started talking.
Eve was a Rough Rider.
Eve, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Like, no, he's gonna ask me next.
And DMX.
That's when it just started.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, I know.
Name somebody else besides Eve and DMX. Well, shit.
That's tough.
Right? No, I just know that the X gonna give it to you. Like, I know that
that's
one. That's my.
What
I mean,
did,
that's what he's most known
yeah,
known
that's what
for,
he's
right?
known for.
What, a party at?
Yeah. What in Singapore were you watching TV out there? Was it weird
Barely.
shit?
I don't really watch TV, but Johnny does. He always has that damn thing on. If it was my house, I would have no TVs in my house. I don't care about
damn.
TV at all.
Is your 3-year-old into iPads yet?
I battle it. I battle
too.
it so hard.
Well, you know what we did? He can't have it Monday through Friday, but on the weekends he can have it.
There you go. That's perfect.
And
I
it's a
mostly
fight.
do. What about TV though? You let him watch TV?
TV, he watches some TV, but usually like he won't sit down. My 5-year-old, he won't sit down long enough to watch a show. But if I like wear him out, like he has swim lessons, he has school, we'll play basketball. If he's worn out or we'll hike or something, then he'll chill and watch like Little Rascals or like a movie. But other than that, they watch a lot of music videos, like YouTube music videos. Like that's like they're obsessed with BTS and like Katy Perry and Doja Cat.
At 5?
Yeah,
5-year-olds? That's what 5-year-olds do now?
that's what he's into.
Wow.
I know.
I don't think I was at 5 years old.
I
They're so
wasn't.
advanced.
I know.
Like,
They know the dances and shit.
my daughter, she's like outgrowing Cocomelon, but she's into like those little shows or whatever, and I
like-
don't love it.
Like
but
Bubble Guppies?
yeah,
They
that
into Bubble
one.
Guppies?
I think that one.
Well, the song is bubble, 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 guppies. Yeah.
Bubble, bubble, bubble.
And then that professor's like, hey, kids.
What the hell?
The backyard again? You know about that?
I don't know any of
And
it.
then, well, you don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
So then the head fish will be like, so if you're going to eat spaghetti, would you eat it with a fork or a cup of water?
Oh, so it's like-
come on.
Right.
I'll be like, come on, this is stupid. And then Tiger's like, yeah, this is stupid.
So it's like Sesame Street, how they like teach
Yeah,
you.
basically.
Best one is
Right?
Mickey Mouse.
And
Hot dog, hot
Hot
dick.
Yep,
dog.
exactly. That's the one she loves.
That's the
Yep.
anthem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
And,
Yeah.
and then,
Mouse,
and then you
Mickey
judge me
Mouse
on this.
Clubhouse.
My son, we got really into Rick and Morty together, which is it's a definitely adult show.
Yeah.
Like his favorite episode's like Pickle Rick. You watch that,
Pickle Rick.
so violent.
It is. For a 5-year-old?
I know.
You said you were born to be a dad? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
but that's how I was raised. That's how I was raised. Like I was playing Mortal Kombat at 5.
Oh,
Down,
man.
down, B, A, B, A, B.
Yeah, I turned out normal. All right, what else? Pretty normal. What else you got, Jen?
There you go.
Okay. Do you know anything about this? in
Sure do.
particular? Okay.
Depressing
so,
as shit.
Yeah, former
You guys are coming
NFL player.
with the heat today.
I know.
God.
Hey,
God.
Who brought the
Is that
bad
always
news
this
bears?
sad?
Yeah. Sorry, Miesha. I'm sorry.
There's no
It's a
good
sad
news?
couple of days.
Sad-
There are
Okay.
some
Sad
like
week.
weirder news later.
Cats all Miesha.
but
Do you say you suffer from depression? Check out these.
mental health is important.
These are real
So,
heartwarming stories.
Yeah.
Former NFL player Philip Adams killed 5 people and then killed himself.
Yeah, and so the backstory here, he played in the NFL. He's kind of like a journeyman in the NFL, bounced around 6 different teams. And then the doctor he killed, the doctor took him off medication and wouldn't refill his medication. So he went basically crazy and then went to the house, shot both of the guys working on the AC unit. It makes no sense. They had nothing to do with it. And then shot the grandfather, the grandmother, and the 2 grandchildren. And then killed himself.
Was he
But
suffering
not the
from-
doctor?
The grandfather was the doctor.
Oh, the grandfather was a doctor.
But because he couldn't get his
Not
medication,
that I
they
think
said
that
he went crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Was he suffering from CTE?
They're gonna blame it on that, but it sounds like he was just an idiot and then needed this medication.
Mental health issues.
Yeah.
His dad did say like football messed him up.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they will.
They're
I
gonna
really
go
think,
to that every time, but also, you know how many football players played football and aren't pieces of shit
Yeah.
like this?
I'm sure it
and
just
don't
happens
need
to
this
certain people.
medication. Like the odds are you're gonna be fine playing football or fighting, but there are some outliers. But my problem is this: CT. No, he could just be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And maybe he was off some medication. Like,
Could
yeah,
be.
he wasn't.
But
He wasn't.
I also think there might be a time when we start to understand mental health in a whole different like level of
How
it. Because
so?
I think we look at it like we think we understand, but I just think we might start to understand the science behind it. Like, for instance, you know how barbaric I feel like SeaWorld and like captivating those animals and the shit like that is. Like, you start to understand like how in depth they are. Like, it's gonna look worse, I think, in the future as we start to even understand more so. And I think the same thing with mental health. I think as if we really can start to understand what's actually going on in someone's brain, like what's really going on in there. Like we all look at it like level-headed and be like, oh, it's a piece of shit. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm definitely not making any argument for him. But if we start to maybe really understand, be like, holy shit, be able to look in someone's brain, like that's what your brain's doing, and like that's what their brain's doing. Like, whoa, like maybe
definitely needs
you know what I
medication.
mean?
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah.
Didn't
Like-
they look at Robin Williams' brain?
Yes.
Right? And they said there was a bunch of wild things up in there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and there's like
they
some
think
things
it's
get like,
like
certain areas get like atrophied, you know, that don't get so like it can throw off all your hormone production,
But-
and that
but
just
also-
makes you that can make you crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
saying it can make
yeah.
like you like that, but I mean maybe.
But I mean, off your meds, you don't know how a person will react.
Yeah, and not even like just the meds, just like what is going on in his brain, like how do we help people in that situation? Like I don't know, like I don't know. I think there will come a point when we start to understand it on a whole different level. And
Well,
really,
they even
maybe
think with
help
like
people.
the way we treat prisoners, like the way you just put them, put in solitary confinement, stuff like that. They're thinking like 30 years when we look back the way we treat prisoners, like what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah.
Because prison was supposed to be for
Same.
rehabilitation.
Yeah.
No one's being rehabilitated.
No.
They're going fucking crazy, and they're worse when they get out. So obviously it's not working, but it's making the state a ton of money, so they keep putting people in there. So it's crazy. But I think the biggest thing with mental illness that they're going to find in probably 10 years is cell phones, social media, and the way it
that's a
affects
drug.
the younger population.
That's why
it's a
I'm trying to
drug,
keep
but the
it away from
bullying
my
on
kids
there.
as
Yeah,
long
it's tough.
as I can, but it's really tough because it's very addicting, and it's like then you have to be the example too. You can't be on it, but our lives are dictated by this too. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm addicted to my phone too. I try to moderate, but there's so much I have to do on my phone, and then you just sucked into it. It's like
Agreed.
a black hole.
They call the cell phones the new cigarette.
Well, they said iPhones are going to come with that warning, like a cigarette, saying this is an addictive product eventually. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, seriously.
It makes sense. It won't matter.
Well, to think how disciplined you are. Take Joe Rogan for example, one of the most disciplined people you know. Even he'll admit it. He's addicted to his phone. Like the most disciplined people you know, and they're addicted to that thing.
Yeah.
It's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You gotta be a real beast.
Because this is the thing about it is that there's no like. See, I already have all my stuff pulled up, even right. It's like I'm ready to go. You ever notice like sometimes you pull up your phone and you're going to do something, and then like you see your Instagram and you just do it. Like you don't even mean to. Like I'm like,
because
why
the way
that's
your
not what I
brain
went in
works
there?
is in the way they set up social media with Twitter and Instagram. It's a dopamine that's released when you see mentions or comments, stuff like that. There's a dopamine, so naturally your body likes that feeling, so it goes to that.
Right. But
Oh,
then
it's
you
insane.
expend way too much and you don't have it left for like your kids. You know, your kids do something cute and you're like, I mean, that's a problem, right? I mean, I'm saying that happens very much to me.
It's not a problem for me because I really don't fuck with it at all. I post, I get out. I post what I need,
That's
and I get
good.
out. I don't
Yeah,
see
that's amazing.
I don't see anything. So I have no idea what you've been up to. I have no idea if they post something dope. I don't find out fight announcements till I'm like at Starbucks and a fan like, dude, did you hear Miesha's back? That's how I found out. Starbucks.
Well, how do you find out about all this stuff?
What do you mean?
You were like, she's like, have you heard about this story?
'Cause
And we were all like, no,
'cause
and you're like, I did.
World Star.
Like, how did you find out?
No, not
about
World
that?
Star. I read news. Like if I'm on my phone, I'm reading.
Right.
I'm not on social
Well,
media.
that's the thing. Is like it just I don't know. It just still like feel like it just sucks me in. I don't know.
No, it does.
fucked.
Dude, I was
Yeah.
like that forever. It took.
And then you just
had to.
you had to be
Had
disciplined.
to. Yeah.
I admit I'm an addict because every Sunday they give you like the hours and stuff, like how much you spend.
Oh, it tells you
I'm like, man,
exactly
you
what
stop
you.
sending me.
You boys are on your phone. I mean, when we go on the road, you go to the green room, everyone's next like this.
I journal a lot.
Not in the green room.
I text a
You're
lot.
on
my
your phone all
notes?
the time. No.
In my you haven't read my notes,
You journal. You journal when we're on the road in the green room.
bro. In my notes, that's how I get to my journal. I journal down all my thoughts.
Have you ever seen this man on
Have you
his
ever
journal in the
are
green
you
room?
looking at my notes? Are you looking at my phone?
Have you-
Are you looking
Nah,
at my
send it
phone?
One time.
I promise you. You want to read my notes?
No, I seen you one time. I seen him on his phone looking at notes. So y'all both do it.
Well, you're talking about my stand-up notes.
Yeah.
You're telling me you're not on Instagram in the green room?
I don't fuck with Instagram like that.
Get the fuck out!
I was about to be with you, but goddamn,
No, I do fuck with Instagram, but a lot of times, a lot of it's just notes that I drop and I take it to my journal.
We're in,
I promise
we're in
you.
Naples next week. On Saturday, we'll look at your phone and say what you've been doing.
Okay.
Why would you do
We'll
that?
check that.
That's because I collect all the whenever I go on the road, I collect
Now he's
all
gonna
my
be
things.
conscious of like not being on his phone.
No, no,
I'm
no.
not
it's-
worried
I mean,
about that. It will still show him his social media.
Yeah.
time.
It'll
So
still show.
so what kind of content do you post on there? On your
On
I'm not
social
saying.
media?
Listen,
on social media.
Well, this is how I sell tickets or get views from my show. So it's usually clips from my shows or videos.
so you have someone else make it for you, and then you just go on there and
Correct.
and you just post it. And
post.
you're
I
out.
get. I see nothing. I see nothing.
Do you follow anybody?
I do on Instagram, but I don't
But
view.
you
I
don't
don't,
view
I
any
don't
of it.
view it. I literally post and get out.
Yeah.
I used to follow people, and that's how I'd keep up with my friends who don't live here or something like that. But
Right.
now I just call them like a normal
Yeah.
fucking human being.
People don't understand like how hard that is.
So what do you do? What do you do for your downtime? Because that's like my like guilty pleasure, and I'll go and I'll also just surf on Instagram or whatever. Once the kids are asleep for a little bit, like what do you do
Feels
then?
so
Read a
good.
book
Either read or I'm with my kid. Like when I walk in the door, it's game on.
for sure. But like once the kids are asleep, like
Watch
what do you,
TV. Me and my
watch
girl
TV?
watch
Okay.
TV. We'll make
you
dinner.
don't
That's
watch
the
TV
difference.
though, right?
I don't really like.
Yeah, there you go. So if you're just sitting around,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's some good TV shows out there.
It's a lot of
They
great.
tell
I
me
have,
about
I have,
them all
I
the
have
time.
nothing right now. I've watched everything.
Man, you better go on Snowfall.
Have you watched The Handmaid's Tale?
I have.
Oh, on
Yeah.
Netflix.
That's a good one.
What's that?
No,
I
it's
like
on
that one
Hulu.
anyways.
Oh, Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Yeah.
It's good though. It's
Yeah,
really
it
good.
was good. I mean, I really liked it. I don't
It's
get
dope.
that much into shows or whatever, but
Never
for
heard
me,
of
that's
that
one.
It's really good. Huge show. Like won
okay.
all the awards.
It's
All right, what else
because
you
it
guys
could
got?
be. It's too like close to like being real.
Agree. It's
Yeah, like, it's like
scary.
that's
I used to
like,
be
ooh, that could
depressed.
really
I'd like
happen.
finish an episode. I'm like, God, I'm fucking sad.
Hey, what is
man."
it about now?
It's this society where women are basically slaves, basically, and they have to wear these suits, and then
In a section of the U.S., like this religious cult essentially took it over, and infertility is like spreading everywhere. Like so many people cannot have kids. So women who have been able to have kids or do have kids, they were abducted and pulled into this colony to be vessels for these high up religious people to have children. So like they impregnate them in this weird ritual, like ritualistic religious ceremony, and then once they have the kids, then it's like they just kind of dispensable and they just take the babies.
And they're kind of like slaves, so they make them work or do all this stuff.
yeah.
It's what Newsom's
It's
trying to do
weird,
with
but it's
LA.
almost just like, ooh.
I see what you did.
He got that one. That guy liked it. All right, what do you got? That guy liked
I like how
that.
you brought that back.
So a bunch of Ukrainian women were in Dubai vacationing, and they all were setting up a photo shoot where they were all naked on like a balcony of
Hold
a
on, are
hotel.
they from Dubai or they're just
No,
Instagram
they
thoughts
are
that
from
flew there
the
from
Ukraine.
Okay.
They flew to Dubai to, I guess, party, vacation, and they all got naked on this balcony.
Okay.
And a bunch of people from the like neighboring buildings saw, and it's super conservative in Dubai. You're supposed to cover up. You're not supposed to like show
Cannot
skin.
play that game, yeah.
They actually found a few of those women's Instagrams because one of the women have like a huge side tattoo on her thigh.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
And they all got deported and arrested for that.
Whoa.
Now let's now here's the thing. Let's just discuss this a little bit. What did
That's hard to do with all those acts.
I was
and all
about
this.
to say,
I'm not really
it's a
able to
lot-
focus right
Yeah, it's a
now.
lot of tanning going on.
The fourth one in just has a flat ass.
I know, right?
She's like, I guess I'll take
Little
this
tiny
picture.
booty.
They're all, Jenny, just fucking do it.
Brendan, all booties matter, okay?
Yeah. Jenny, just take the fucking picture.
She's one that needs that ruffle underwear, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
A
the
little
one
more.
that like rushes up your ass
Yeah.
crack.
What? She's a
Yeah,
Spanx
there's
or
like a
something.
special type of underwear that'll make flatter booties look bigger,
Look
and it's
bigger?
by like getting up into the crack.
There's
so it
also
looks
workout
more round.
pants.
Number 5 was ready. She was ready.
Number 5.
Number 5.
So are they in prison now? Or?
Number
They
6,
got
I think,
arrested,
count.
and I believe most of them have already been deported, but they're trying to figure out who every single one of those women
Yeesh.
were.
Yeah, you
They
better-
found 11 of the, I think, 20 something.
You better get back to Ukraine, girls.
This is one of the first models that were actually deported because of her tattoo.
A tattoo.
They were able to find it. I think they're
Damn.
doing that thing where they found this girl and then they're going through Instagram to find the
Another
other ones.
big-
What?
Who was playing the piano?
Yeah, there's one man in the group. They were arrested for public debauchery and creating pornography.
Was he arrested too or no?
I don't know.
He's like,
That's
listen,
a great
I
point.
just play the piano.
Probably not.
They hired me.
They hired me.
Ah, man, they're kind of fucked. Yeah, Dubai doesn't mess around.
Dubai does not fuck around
No.
with that.
Know what you're doing, man.
Man, this is not
Isn't
Vegas.
it crazy what some women can do with their Instagram though, and like how they can like pose and look on, and then
It's
you see them in real
nuts.
life, and you're like,
You're like, what happened?
Two different
Wait
You
people.
saw that
Minute.
too, Chin. What the hell is
wait
that?
a minute.
Yeah, what is going
Chin,
on?
what the hell? I'm glad you.
That's her fucking with the filters or something.
like,
Like,
I'm pretty
she don't
sure-
really look
you
like
saw
that.
that filter Joe Rogan did on his daughter did on.
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Where
Oh,
he
yeah,
literally
where it
was
looked
like a woman, and
nuts.
he was like fairly attractive, like girl next
nuts.
door, and I was like, it was Joe Rogan. That's crazy. Some of these filters.
That's insane.
That's insanity.
Khloe Kardashian got in trouble for a body filter recently. I guess they created new technology where they will do a filter even on your body.
Yeah, it'll like
Yeah,
tighten
it'll,
your
like,
waist
Say
or whatever,
less.
and,
Say
like,
less. Say less.
Come on now.
I could have
That's
used
so
that the other
weird.
day when I took that picture.
Women
at
are
Zoo.
kind of women are kind of caught in this weird dilemma though with their makeup and stuff, because I see some women is like wearing so much makeup and they look so perfect on their Instagram, but you see it in person and you're just like, that does not look good. Like, do you guys like that when women wear like a lot of makeup
God,
and
no.
stuff?
It's giving off
I've
the
never
wrong
seen
impression
anybody-
for girls too, because although the show's called Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it's like, yeah, everyone's trying to keep up with the Kardashians, but that's
Yeah.
not real. And also, like how Chloe's mad at that one that wasn't filtered. She doesn't look bad. And now she's getting
Yeah.
she's getting all this sympathy. We're like, girl, good for you for speaking your truth. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
It's a
Because she
brand.
didn't post a fucking filter? That's nuts.
Yeah, I think she came out yesterday with a post, or maybe 2 days ago, saying that she was always known as being like the ugly fat Kardashian, and
Facts.
so she wanted to be very protective of the way she's putting out her image now, and that she is having the standard thrusted upon her.
And I love that she goes,
but
now,
she's the one who
she
set
goes,
that
this is
standard at the
me,
same
and this
time."
isn't
Yeah.
photoshopped. Yeah, it is.
No, that's Kim right there.
No, it's not.
No, that's Khloe.
That's Chloe.
That's Khloe.
Oh my.
See how the title says Khloe Kardashian?
Wait, where's the title? I didn't see it.
Up, scroll up, Chin. Khloe Kardashian. So she goes, this is me, and it's not Photoshopped. Dude, her body's ridiculous. Now, are those abs sprayed on? Yeah, they
definitely,
are. So
definitely.
this isn't really her. But it gives girls, like in high school or college, who are trying to keep up with the Kardashians, it gives them this fucking false
Yeah.
sense of reality. Like, that ain't real, man.
This is
didn't
also
know there
the
was
live
spray on
video
ass.
that she got in trouble for because she went on live to prove that like her body looks like this. But there's a split second where the filter kind of comes off and you see a little bulge jump out and then come back in.
Where?
Mia Khalifa actually caught it, posted about it, and put Khloe Kardashian on blast, saying like, you're trying to make it seem like this is your body, you have this perfect body and you're proud of it, but you put a filter over your live. And then Mia Khalifa took that post
You
down.
can do
Mia Khalifa's
that.
so
You can
bad.
put a filter on a video on a live.
Now you can, yeah.
Wow, it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure that there's been like, you know, they I don't think there's any secret that the Kardashians have done like a lot like surgically too, you know?
Absolutely.
Which is, I mean, it's fine. Like if you want to do it or whatever, you know, but I'm not against it, you know.
yeah.
But I just think it's like kind of crazy that the standard, like you add the filters and you add all these things. It's like
To enhance
I'd rather
skin.
look nicer in person. So like I wear like a tinted moisturizer, and I'm like I don't probably look that great on my Instagram. Sorry guys,
Yeah.
but like I would rather wear like something where you don't see me and you're like,
Yeah.
she's got on her face. So
What else you got, Jen?
That was it for yours, right, Kat?
that's it.
Oh no, there's one more.
One more.
There you go.
Okay, so there's a video of a giant lizard. I believe it's over in Thailand. It walked into a 7-Eleven searching for food, and it's running amok.
My son saw this, and
He's-
we just watched Godzilla, and he goes, "Dad, is that a baby Godzilla?" I went, "Basically, dude.
Yeah,
basically. Look at him. He's so fucking big."
I know.
Like,
He's
what do
looking
you
for
do if
food.
that's your 7-Eleven? You just
mean-
wait for it to leave?
Yeah, wait for him to live.
Yeah,
He's
just
gonna
like-
eat all the snacks.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he didn't fall down.
How the fuck did he
How,
get
I wonder
in?
how long those live for. Like, how old could that be?
They're so big.
Like, could they live like 100 years or something?
They live
I don't
a
know.
while.
It seems like they would live a long time.
They're awesome.
He's probably pissed. He's probably like, you built this 7-Eleven on my
Yeah.
land. Like, this is my domain. I was here before you.
It's nuts.
Second largest.
That's the problem. People always encroaching on it. You know, on all the animals' land. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what do you expect then? Of course, a cougar's
what's
gonna
gonna
come eat
happen.
your kid. You built
Oh, for
your
real.
house right in the,
Yeah.
the mountain.
What else you got, Jen?
This right here, some person was able to sneak onto the UFC football team for a day, go into the jacuzzi with the players, put on a jersey, actually play on the field.
What?
Yeah.
None of the players like, who the fuck's this guy?
It took a security guard afterwards. I'll show you the list of everything he did.
Guy gets past security in the football operation building, John McKay Center, mixes in so well that nobody realizes he's an imposter.
In the
Makes his way
jacuzzi.
into the jacuzzi, sits in the jacuzzi with other players. They don't get suspicious, dumbasses. Grabs a meal, nobody realizes something is off. Grabs a jersey and a helmet, gets dressed for practice, makes it onto the field, starts fielding punts, and a football staffer finally realizes some guy's living out his dream. Tight move.
Right.
So funny.
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
They're saying that school should probably hire him to make sure no one else could breach the school because he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
The school isn't that hard to breach, though, to be fair.
It's USC. Right?
Especially right now, yeah.
USC is not hard to
Yeah,
breach.
that's interesting.
It's surprising that no one else saw him was like, who is that guy, though?
Well, if you were the punt, the kicker, and I'm like, oh, that's probably.
Ah,
the
man, I'm
kicker.
telling you, we're on a team. There's 120 guys on the
Yeah,
team.
120 guys.
We knew everybody.
Y'all did?
Yeah, man. We had a crazy guy come to break in the locker room one time, and he was looking for like crack, and he started like trying to. And he's telling us he had the AIDS, and he tried attacking the players. Well, what you don't want to do is in the the corner that he went into. This is like 8 a.m. The corner that he went into were all the guys from like the 5th Ward in Houston who were like real hard fucking
know
core
Fifth
dudes.
Ward. I know Fifth
Like
Ward.
Lawrence Vickers, Mark Fenton. So these boys, they lit this dude
Oh,
up. Yeah.
Damn. I'll try and sneak on. I'll try and do it.
Yeah, you don't want to sneak in a football team.
Especially dudes
Everyone
from
knows
Fifth
each
Ward.
other though. It's not like
Oh, okay.
I'm Bradley from Orange County. I'm new to the team. Nah, bitch. What? No, we all know each
Bradley
other.
from Orange County.
Yeah. What else you got, Jen?
This right here, the Lil Nas X lawsuit. So it's been settled, and I guess they're saying that all the shoes, even the ones that are sold, they need to be bought, like returned.
Dude, someone's gonna keep
Really?
them, and they're gonna be worth so much
Yes.
money.
Who's going to return them? They
Yeah,
said
who-
that
yeah.
they go up,
Pay
like,
s-
Oh, I just be like, I lost them. Then you're gonna see me hot in the streets, fucking rocking those things. I bet you they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
it's going to be super expensive. But that's all that happens. So as part of the settlement, Nike says anyone who doesn't return their shoes for a full refund will have to contact Mischief if they encounter a product issue, defect, or health concern. So basically, they're just not responsible if something happens to them.
Yeah, Nike's like, that's
so
on
Yeah.
you.
So no one's gonna.
They're gonna be worth so much money.
technically, they can keep it.
Yeah.
They just gonna keep it in the box.
You know, how, dude, those are gonna be the most sought after shoe
Oh,
since
yeah.
Red Octobers. That's nuts.
Red October.
I don't know what the Red
The
October
Kanye West. I know. I'm guessing the Kanye West joints.
The Yeezys, the Red
Yeezys.
Octobers. So Kanye before Adidas was with Nike, and his Red Octobers go for I don't know, 15 grand.
Look at that.
Those
10
red
grand
ones.
right there. 14 grand. Those are the Red Octobers.
I'd never wear those.
You never wear 'em?
I would
How
never.
dare you.
That's crazy.
And
You guys would?
oh my
Bro,
God.
I'm
Dude, I
dying.
would sleep in those.
What?
You supposed to. I heard.
Listen, I'm
You're not
Not for
really-
everyone, Chappelle. It's fine.
You're not a
You
real
know,
sneakerhead.
It's not for everyone.
I've
ain't on
never
the Red
claimed to be-
Octobers?
I've never claimed to be a sneakerhead. These are fans.
I was like, what are you
Yeah,
guys
you ain't a
wearing?
sneakerhead.
Ooh,
What else you got,
flexible.
I
Chin?
have Chucks on.
Yeah,
And these are
Those
too,
Chucks are dope.
These are too big for me, like way too big. But
It's like
but I still
Spalding.
wear 'em
It's like
anyways.
Spalding.
How,
like-
how,
that's
how
what
was
I'm
the
talking about.
fashion in Singapore?
I don't know. I mean, it's like mixed. Like
Really?
people wear suits a lot. It's like it's kind of like walking around in New York.
Yeah.
Feels like there's just a
Business.
yeah. At least where we lived, anyways, because we were right down in the city. I think a lot of people looked at me strange because I probably look like a bum. I just walk around with my messy hair and like my
Good for you.
my gym wear. I'd be
Comfortable,
like
yeah.
running by people in their suits and be like, but they're very judgy over there, anyways. I
Yeah.
really don't care.
Alrighty. So this city, if Plymouth, is asking residents if they see people with their dogs that don't pick up their poop to call 911.
The crime must not be very high up there.
Where's
City of Plymouth, Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah, all right, Minnesota.
They got a lot going on in there right now.
No, they have nothing going on.
They got the trial.
That's in Minneapolis.
All right,
Wait.
and this,
Call 911.
yeah,
That's a
if
bit
they see someone not picking up their dog's poop,
911.
911. I guess it gets
like
crazy over
another,
there.
or like another.
Cop's like, I'm on my way.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. Like.
Last one, Chin.
We talked about this before. This monkey that has a Neuralink chip put in its brain. So check this out. I'll play it real quick. So that monkey is getting bananas fed to him whenever he's following that little pattern, right? There's a joystick there,
Interact with
Sick.
right? But then what's crazy about it is it looks plugged in now, but now it's not plugged in. So he's actually doing it with his brain.
with their brain activity alone.
See the unplugging?
Because they wouldn't
Dude, it's
be able
like
to
Planet of the
use the
Apes.
He's able to control that thing with his
So
brain.
he has a chip in his head right
Yeah.
now? Is he okay?
But isn't he doing it with his hand right there? What was
Yeah,
it?
so that it's just
Yeah.
a joystick to
Controller.
show, but then they unplugged it.
And he gets bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Fed
I
with
got
bananas.
So they're trying to put Neuralinks in people?
Yeah, so we don't have to have our phones with us. We could just kind of control our phones with
You
our
know
brains.
that's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Definitely.
coming. I mean, you're returning to robots.
You down for that?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
So then they took the joystick away even there, and then he was still doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it, yeah. It's on his own.
Dude,
it
listen,
goes.
society's worried about the vaccine because they think it's going to, the
control
government's going to be able to track you.
That pipe is
you
just
think they're
being
going to get a chip in
feeder.
your
I know,
head?
right?
Yeah, it's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Fuck that.
Is that it?
That's it.
Miesha, we love you. You're the
yeah.
That was
best.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Flew by. That was easy.
I know it went by fast. This cruise in Naples next week, Naples, Florida, April 15th to 17th. Austin, Texas, almost all shows are sold out. So we added a show Thursday night. That's April 22nd through the 24th. Austin, Texas, and just announced Houston, Texas, May 20th through 22nd. Ticket at fatkz.com. Chappelle, where are you going to be, buddy?
May 13th through the 15th, Raleigh, North Carolina.
There you go.
Good Nights Comedy Club. Tickets, ChappelleLacey.com.
Miesha, we thank you for being part of the show.
Yeah.
You're the
Thank
best.
you guys.
Awesome.
And
That was-
Scooter. Shout out to Scooter.
Yeah, shout out
Definitely.
Scooter.
Keep on trucking, Scooter.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. Love you guys.
What's up? I guess I'm first on the list. Hi, Chappelle Lacey here. Shout out to my boy Matt Helders from Arctic Monkeys. I think you designed this. And this is great. And then I'm rocking this shirt with the W-Tap Vans. It's a collab. I think it's a Japanese collab that Vans did. I don't know. I'm not that big of a sneakerhead according to Brendan because I don't like the Metro Red Yeezys or something like that. What do they call? Oh, Red October Yeezys. North Carolina, May 13th through the 15th. Good Nights Comedy Club.
Get those fresh whites on.
Bro, you already know what it is.
Harveys.
Not the Steve Harveys, bro. These all every dope boy.
Steve Harvey.
These the young Jesus right here.
White shoes.
Bases.
What?
Huh?
The Yeezys.
The Yeezys regular.
But those are like the OGs that everybody.
Everybody
wear,
get these, bro. Listen, you go to Atlanta, every dope boy got these on right here.
All right, man. Well, you're in LA though.
Go to Crenshaw. Oh, we gotta go there.
Easy dad shoes. These are also my workout shoes. I'm trying to break them, man.
Get the Metro Red Yeezy for 10 grand.
Right, focus.
Naples next week. Naples, Florida. The week after, we added shows in Austin, so go get tickets. FATKZ.com. Volcon Gas Company. Get them.
Pokey extra pokey.